today we got to play Next Station London. So this is a pretty beginner level roll and write that we got to play. So I think you picked it up at Gen Con last year. Or this year?
No, I got it. Yeah, this year with this and the sequel, the Next Station
Tokyo. It's almost next year. Last year. Really close. All right, Randy.
I'm confused.
Randy, can you tell us a little bit more about it? No, because first I need to tell you that subscribing to our channel is awesome because we love board games and so do you, and that's why we do this. All right, now can you tell us more about
Now I'll say more. Next Station London is a 2022 release. It has a Board Game Geek rating of 7.5 and a rank of 794. It's a 1 to 4 player game, average length of 25 to 30 minutes, age 8 and up. That's probably about right. The iconography is very simple. The hardest part is doing the math at the end as far as adding up.
Yeah, but honestly, if they play it, then
as long as you can help them with scoring, that's all that matters. Designed by Matthew Dunstan. Art is by Maxime Morin. Published by Blue Orange Games. It has an MSRP of $17.99. Right now, it's currently in stock at Spielbound Board Game Cafe. It's the cheapest price. I've never even heard of them before. $11.95. Tabletop Merchant has it for $11.99, and Boardlandia has it for $12.08. There's others that have it, like Miniature Market and so on, but they don't have it in stock currently.
All right, so let's talk about the quality of components. So you have colored paper, because it's a roll and write, and you got colored pencils. And then you do have cards. The cards do not have linen finish. They're okay quality. You probably want to end up sleeving these. These get shuffled a lot. And they're already starting to twirl up. So probably need to sleeve those. Quality, I can't give this more than a 5 because there's just not a lot here, and what's there is just...
I'll give it a 5.5 because of the case. It's got a magnetic case, which is really nice for storing everything in it, and everything fits nicely.
Okay, so that's where they spent the money. Magnetic case.
The case is where the quality is.
Okay, I think you're right on that. Feelings?
Where are the erasers?
There's no erasers on this.
And and my eyeballs are like, where's the line I'm supposed to be coloring? So I don't know. Yeah, 5 sounds good.
All right.
You're having trouble coloring within the lines? Is that what you're saying?
I'm having trouble finding the lines.
All right. So theme obviously is that you're creating bus routes or...
There's subway, actually.
Subway routes for London. And obviously there are different lines like you see in any type of subway or maps. And the color pencil that you'll be rotating to have different colors are going to be that. And you're obviously trying to get the most points possible because that makes it most successful, right? So you want to hit up visitor location or, tourist locations. That gives you additional bonus points because you want the tourists to ride it too. Overall, I mean, it's a theme. It works. You're drawing different lines and it does. At the end, this is why I think the theme's actually pretty spot on, is that when you look at it, it does look like a subway map. Mm-hmm. Assuming you didn't mess it all up and tried to erase non-erasable colored pencils. But other than that, I think it looks actually pretty cool, and I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I think this is like a simplified version of Railroad Ink, is what I'm thinking as far as the way it plays. It's very similar in style.
I just don't remember it, so I believe you.
You play it on your phone all the time.
Oh, that. Well, this does not even connect. I have 2 very different things. That you're actually laying down trails where the trails are already there. You're just trying to figure out which way to go. So for me, it feels actually pretty different. And that's why when you're like, that game, I'm like, I got no idea. Because that didn't make any sense to me. So theme score wise, I'm probably going to give this, I'll give this a 6.25 because it does look like a subway thing at the end of when you're done. What about you guys?
First of all, did I ever tell you that I almost lost your daughter on the train in Boston?
No.
No.
She jumped onto the train and I was like, stop! Anyway, yeah.
She's fearless.
I almost peed my pants in Boston right there on the train.
Was the train moving when she tried jumping on?
No, but the door was about to close. I almost had a heart attack. Anyway, the theme is good. because it does look like a map. It looks like a map in any, Washington, D.C. has a river through it. Yep. By the way, the best subway is in Washington, D.C. Better than the one in Boston.
I've only been to the New York one, and I like being able to get here and there and not have to drive because I hate driving. So total win for that part. All right. Score-wise, though, what are you going to give it?
A 7.5.
Okay. All right. So let's move on to the actual...
Well, do I not get to score it?
No. What's your score?
I'm probably a 6. It's just very light. I mean, the cartoonish look of it's fine, but there's not much to it. It is a roll and write that you're drawing lines on to a paper.
That's why I gave it 6.25 because it does look like it's worth it. All right. So let's move on to the actual rulebook. Randy, how did you? Because I don't think you read it here.
No, I did.
Are you trying to remember it?
Yes. So the rule book is a multi-trifold.
Oh, you hate that so much.
I do. It's an accordion. So this one is, I don't know where the numbering on this is, 18-page rule book.
There's a solo mode, guys.
Yeah, it does have a solo mode.
I like that.
Got, it's got basically the gameplay is very simplistic, but the scoring gets a little complicated, and it's got the rules of construction on it. You can't cross lines and all that kind of thing, which we'll get into gameplay.
Well, because you can't do that
Yeah,
in subways.
because your subways would crash. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. But then you've got they are color coordinated sections, which is nice, the way it's sectioned on here. And it ties to the summary over here. So the blue section is for the blue, pink, and so on. Well, pink is purple over here, kind of.
But that works out nicely.
But yeah, and then they got the advanced modules, which are the expansions. There's 2 little mini expansions they include.
And we didn't actually play with these, but they're pretty straightforward to
simple.
add on.
Yeah.
So each of the colored pencils get a special player power.
So I think the rules do fine. I wish there was a little bit better examples for the scoring portion of it, but in general, I think they do a fine job. I'll give it a 7.5. I think it's fine.
All right. So moving on to the actual gameplay. So everyone obviously has 1 colored pencil to start out the game. These will be rotating throughout the game, and there will be 4 rounds to the game. So I'm going to start with a board that maybe isn't written on. Thank you, Randy. So I'm going to flip over a card. Everyone's going to start at their starting location. The starting location is based on the color of pencil that you have. So right now it is purple, so I'm going to start at the purple location, and I am going to the hexagon location. Okay, so if you'll notice, actually you won't notice. I can barely see them.
Picture to show them.
No, I can barely see the lines.
Yeah,
so,
the lines are very faded.
So I literally had to be like this on the board the whole entire game just so I could see. But once I got it into view, I was okay.
Yeah, and then your dad, when we played with him, he had trouble seeing the yellow lines that separate the sections.
Well, no, the yellow lines are hard to see too because they kind of blend in.
Well, yeah, so I think it depends on your eyes. You might have trouble seeing one color or the other, or you might have trouble seeing both because they are faded.
I literally had to be up close to be able to see the colors. Yeah. So I understand why they did that because when you draw the lines, it's obvious that you're drawing, what your lines are. But it does make it a little bit hard to play. So if your old granny who has really bad eyesight tries to play, don't get another one. Not because
you
granny.
Raise your hand because you're an old granny.
I'm the old granny.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If your old granny might like it, but she can't see it. So. All right. So I'm going to draw 1 line from my starting location, and then I'm going to draw that line. Okay. Then everyone else. We're going to do this simultaneously, so that's one thing I do love about this game is I'm not waiting on people. And then...
Just because we was waiting on you.
No, we were waiting on Randy. All right, so then...
I get thrown under the subway train every time when there was a delay.
So then you keep drawing until 5 red cards pop up. So that means... Pink. Red, pink.
Similar. Not the same thing.
That's not the same. But pink cards... once 5 appear, then the round ends. So, one turn, we were short 3 different cards, so that was kind of a bummer, and that was a low-scoring round, but hey, it happens. And then others, we've gotten through all 8 cards, so...
But the key is you can't make branches off of your subway, so if you draw a triangle, you have to put it on one end or the other of your track.
Yeah.
You can't veer in multiple directions.
Unless...
Yes, there's one card.
one card that lets you veer off. So basically, when it comes around,
That's a wild.
we got another wild. We got a circle, square. If we ever get to it, we may not get to it, guys. Oh.
Nope. It's
No.
the last card.
It's literally the last card.
Yeah, okay. But if this did pop up, we would draw one right behind it. So we'll just mix this up. That I'd have to veer off to a square. So I could do it at any point on my whole entire line. I don't have to do it at the end. I could go to an offshoot of the square. That presents you a third line or a third end of the line that you can continue on throughout the gameplay. In this case, the last round, so it doesn't really matter. But this has been up around 4 and 5, and that's actually worked out pretty good. And sometimes it's first, so it doesn't really matter because you're at the start. So it can be
if it
useful or
comes
not
up in
useful.
the first 2, you just ignore it.
Well, because there's pointless. So that being said, then you do 4 rounds. Well, then the round ends. You score that particular round. You get scoring based on the number of yellow areas that you're in and the number of city or locations that you hit.
In your
most the one that is most frequent of those areas that you're in.
So if you cross 5 sections and you had 4 in your largest region, then you would get 20 points as a base. Plus, anytime you cross the Thames,
you get 2 points. All right, and then that round switches. We would switch colors. We'd all rotate. Randy doesn't get one because I can't reach that part of the table. And then we would shuffle the cards and start over. Then we keep doing this for
4 rounds.
Till 4 rounds. And then we do end of game scoring, which is based on each city that has 2 basically going in and out. And then you have 3 spokes, which can be where you diverged or that you touched it again through another line. Or 4 spouts, you get victory points based on how many spouts each location has. If it has 1, it doesn't get any additional victory points. And then you get victory points based on the number of tourist locations, which are the suns on the board. I call them suns because they're circles with little pokes at the end, outside of it. And those, yeah. Now, different colors, you cannot cross lines. You cannot
revisit the same location
with the same color. Now, what you can do, though, is if you hit up blue, go out of blue, and then you can come in on a different side and then leave a different side.
With a different color.
So it's not crossing a line. It's just if you're crossing at the matrix, you're fine. So that's the name of the game. It's cute. It's like, I wish I could see it better. I will give this a 7.
Yeah, I'm probably there with you on this 7. I think it's a fun little quick learning, easy to learn roll and write, or flip and write in this case. And one thing to add is these expansions. One is a in-game bonus scoring. So you basically have 5 cards. You shuffle and draw 2, and you can get 10 points if you meet the criteria of the card. And then the other one is kind of unique. It's basically a special player power, but it's associated to the pencils. So you associate one with each pencil. They get passed with the pencil, and then for once per round, when you have that, you can trigger it and use its special ability. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and those are easy add-ons. I don't know. We
haven't played them yet. But
we haven't played it, but I don't see why we couldn't.
Yeah. They're not that difficult to learn.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, what about you, Heather? What'd you think?
I thought you weren't going to give me a chance to say.
I
first time in all the time that I've been playing war games that I got to the end of playing a game for the first time and thought, this would have been better. Even learning it for the first time with the expansions. It was kind of dull. And I don't like playing a game that frustrates me visually. Like, I had every single time. I think 7 is generous. I'm giving it a 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I like rolling rights, or whatever this is. What's a flipping though?
You're flipping a card instead. Instead of rolling.
Flipping. I like filling in the squares and drawing lines and it.
All I gotta say.
Maybe little kids would like it better.
Well, it does lack the comboing that a lot of the roll and rights or whatever have. It doesn't really have comboing per se.
Yeah. I feel like I want to play Hadrian's Wall, guys.
Yeah, that's
my favorite roll and rights. Okay. So, yeah, well, I mean, I feel you. I understand what you're saying. But it is a good starter one. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We had, well, some of us had a blast. But hopefully you'll come hang out with us again. We'll catch you guys later. Bye. Hello, everyone. Today we got to play Next Session.
No, we didn't.
Nope, not that.
Let's try this again.
Yeah.
Right.
It's pronounced London, in case you're having any issues.
Copenhagen. She said Copenhagen. Is that
That's
what
why I want to make sure she got pronunciation.
I know how to pronounce London, guys.
It's a European city, just like Copenhagen. So
I think I already told you once you should flick his ear.
she just smacked me with the box.
I'll smack him
I
again.
think that's the
The
same.
thing is I can barely touch him and he'll go, oh, and he'll be like crying for 9 days.
So if she were athletic, he'd be a
Pretty
soccer
much.
player.
Pretty much.